Games Workshop have just dropped their balanced data slate and points update for Warhammer 40,000. What does this mean for genestealer cults and the wider game in general? Let's have a look. Hello there and welcome to Purple Knight Games, and we are talking balanced data slate, and we are talking points update. We are talking the commentary a little bit because that was a very wordy document and not a lot of things have changed, but it's very, not a lot. But we have looked at it, or I have looked at it. Well, Games Workshop seemed to take, so it took me by surprise, and it seemed to take others by surprise that they dropped it yesterday, on a Tuesday. Usually it's a Thursday thing, but obviously they wanted it to be on still in January, as they'd said before. So it has dropped a little bit out of sequence, or I haven't been able to get the video out as quick as I would like to have done. But we are going to dive on in. We're going to look at genestealer cult mainly. We're going to look at what core rules have changed. We're going to discuss, also going to look at the Brew Brothers and of course the big mamas, the Tyranids, and then have a little overlook of some of the factions. I don't know the rules and the way the armies play in for a lot of factions because I'm not that much of a competitive player, so I will have a look over it, but we're not going to go into any depth on those ones. We're going to focus very much on genestealer cults, and then have a look at the Brew Brothers, Bastard Militarum, and Tyranids as well. So, without any ado, let's get balanced data slate and dive in, and let's go on in. We have it, the balanced data slate for January 2024. Also look at the Militarum Fields, whatever it's called. The points update, basically. I don't know why they give it some strange name. The points update. We'll have a look at that next. I'm not going to look at the new Drukhari attachment because I don't know enough about Drukhari. Maybe visit that in another video, maybe not. And we're going to focus on genestealer cult, and as well as our associates, the Brew Brothers, the Militarum, and of course the big mamas, the Tyranids. So first of all, let's look at the core rules. We had a whole video out on all these core rules I think they should have changed. And as we can see, they've changed nothing. Nothing has changed. What they have done, which I do like, is any changes they've made at all in any previous balanced data slates are in red. But if it's a new change, a change this time around, they've got a plus mark. That's a good change. I like that. We have to go and look to two manuals to try and have a look and see what we've actually changed. Everything stayed pretty much the same. Well, it hasn't stayed the same. There's no core updates. So I'm a bit annoyed at that because I felt Battleshock needs something to do. Gambits needs something to do to it. What I didn't even cover before was Towering, and that needs something to do to it. So yeah, all the same. The faction rules, however, this is where all the meat is in this update. But all the changes are. And we're gonna have a look through some of these. But even then, I don't play many factions. I only really play against Space Marines or Chaos Space Marines. My technology keeps going off. Anyway, I'll continue, shall I? So, Sisters of Battle, Adeptus, sorry, I can never say that. So, Sisters of Battle have changed one of their rules where apparently they could do this as many times as they wanted as it was written. So, they've just changed it to 2 acts upon it now of phase per acts of faith per phase, or specifying how it's supposed to be used rather than any sort of real nerf. I think there. Custodian's a little change as well. So they get feel no pain, but then they get feel no pain. It's mortal wounds and critical wounds caused by attacks with devastating wound ability. Allows them to get the full thing. We've got all these pluses, all these little pluses, all these little changes. Big one I think is a Phantasm stratagem. In the meta watch, they really hit on this. Like, no longer move set amount. It's now D6 inches, 6 inches before. I don't know how many dice I got before. So is this 9d6? I know it was previously. I've not really looked into these. So wounds for the bearer. Was that for the unit before? Yeah, I don't know. Strands of Fate. Now we get 6d6. I don't know Eldari enough. I've never played him. I've never played them or played against them. I just know they've been rather horrid. Quite a lot of change. They've really gone to town on these on tweaking these rules. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven different rules being tweaked. Teams are doing this, and Eldari have been very powerful in the whole edition so far. It'd be interesting to see where this leaves them. Age appearing, no change. After the term, I think this is quite a sensible change for these guys. So their army rule where they can do orders, officers do those orders in the command phase, but now they've got this little change here. So officers can issue orders in the command, can't issue orders in the command phase, as a transport or their reserve. They can now issue orders when they're disembarked or when they arrive in the battlefield, which is great. I think that's brilliant. You're not losing that orders ability now. It's, I think, not groundbreaking, but it's a nice change. Good Angels had this little chat. Again, I don't really know what that was before. So add 2 to strength characteristic and add 1 to the attack characteristic. I'm going to be very much just glossing over these. I don't understand the Chaos Demons one. Chaos Demon player try to explain this to me. I just don't understand it. So I'm going to just that as it is. Again, Chaos Space Marines have been good. Like the Eldari, little changes here and there. Like it just seems like your command phase, so it's not both command phases like both before. For accursed cultists, your control characteristic. Changes the OC of mutant to 1. Change where you can get transports and you same keywords now. But yeah, I'll be honest, I don't understand enough of chaos. I've only been beaten off them 3. Well, there's different flavours. A little bit of change to Death Guard. So in the shooting phase, you can select one model from your army with his ability as the target of the grenade stratagem for 0 CP. Even if you already targeted a different unit stratagem. So you get a free grenade. That's not bad. That's pretty. I'm not sure it was before, but it's still nice, isn't it? Free grenades are always good. Free mortal wounds. Oops, yep. Deathwatch, unchanged. Yukari. Got improvement of their army rule. So not only are they getting rolls hits, they're now also getting melee attacks with arm penetration. Nice. It's automated and powered through pain. Yeah, that's good. Archons now lead Incubi. That was a bit of a crutch of Dark Elder players. That's how you do Incubi players. Here we are. The boys themselves. Genestealer Cult. No changes. No changes. Still haven't even changed the Jackal Alpha save. It's still 5. Please change it. Technically, a 6 doesn't save it. When you save it on a roll of 5. Again, ambush rule. Does it need altering? I just think it needs to be 4+ there. Get a bit more units back, get more bit tokens on the battlefield. The more there is, less likely they're all going to be removed in one turn. But in Grey Knight, change here. It used to be they ignore cover now with the heavy side cannon. Than before, I assume they gained it. They would have taken it away. It would just say no longer has it, wouldn't it? Highlighted. Charge changes to weapon skills as well. So they get a little bit easier to hit. World Eater, I've heard these guys have had a bit have been nerfed. Sorry, but I couldn't tell you how. If I just have a quick look at some of these, I don't know how these have been changed. Leagues of Vote, I thought this would be altered a little bit. I thought they'd be reduced a little bit, but well, they've done changes to the points. I know that much. So now with Imperial Knights, change the oath ability each time the you fight, roll one hit, and you. Oh, yeah, seems nice. At the end of each player's turn, so not just your own turn, player's turn. Lots of change. I don't think these are that turn, that turn, that turn. I don't, and that's just so it fits in with this part here. The worthy of a saga attachment rule. That's the Space Marines. No changes. Fair enough. But that is it. That's the amazement of the Dataslate. If one of these armies with lots of pluses like World Eaters and Yukari and Sari, you have Space Marines. Obviously, you've got a lot to consider. Not a lot for everyone else though. But we're going to move on. The Midterm Field Manual of Greatness, aka a rules update. Now, first again, this is a great update, and I'm really pleased that they've done this. So now, rather than just having changes in red, great, it's changed. How's it changed? At least now, they have changes in red and green. Red for increased, green for decreased. Brilliant. Simple change, but brilliant. Thank you, Games Workshop. You've been listening. I'm going to just flick through. So this is battle. Hunters and retreat has gone down. I think that's what was cards. And the flagellants have gone up. Quite taken. Little changes there. Stories have gone down in price a little bit. I'm just going to fly through these. I don't know enough about them. Nothing for the Admech or the Titans. Aldari Wraithguard, not surprised they've gone up in price. And the Nightspin has as well. Not even sure what Nightspin even is, so I'm not going to comment there. The Wraithguard, though, they have been heavily taken points, but they've hit Aldari more in the rules rather than the points around. Age of Hearing, no change. Just the one faster Militarum, our Brew Brother friends. Amount of calls gone up. Who knows why the amount of calls gone up? I don't know why. I would say it's definitely a groundbreaking artillery. It's good. Does it need to be the one thing hand-picked for a points increase? Probably not. It's just going to make people take Basilisk instead for 135 points rather than 100. Went to go. Black Templars. Crusaders have gone up in price, which is not really. I don't think it's much of a surprise, really. So you get. It's still 20. It was one Saw Brother, 9 initiates, and 10 neophytes for 2. That's. They haven't gone down points that much, have they? I'm not quite sure how that works. Well, so one Saw Brother and 9 initiates, 150. 10 of them, 15 points. They still seem rather cheap for what they are. But they've had an increase at least. They were quite cheap. Nothing for Blood Angels. The rules change. Demons. Nurglings that have been taken en masse just to do secondaries, they've gone up. Not a surprise there. And a lot of demons have gone down a little bit. Now, this was, I think, more of an internal balance side. Give demons a little bit of a help out. Even though they were quite good to begin with, then they've been nerfed, and now they've been given a little help. And because basically everyone's been taking Balakor and Great Demons and not really taking the smaller stuff. Try to just do a bit of moving around here. Demonet, 10 Demonets, 110 points, that's 11 points a model. That's good. Legbearer is also 11 points. Bloodletters, 12 points a model. Interesting. The Knights, whether it be Chaos Imperial, are struggling. So that's a lot of decreases. throughout. But their units are very expensive in general because they're not large stompy robots of death. Yeah, just a little decrease all around. Chaos Space Speed we sort of expect up. The cultists have gone up. The Chaos Lord I think was always going to go up. Chosen were going to go up. It's all really expected. Obliterators have all gone up. So it's all the stuff that's been heavily taken in tournaments have all gone up. Angels, it's just a new point, isn't it? So it's just codex reasons why these have gone down. I think they've lost a bit of their bite since the codex have come out, so they're cheaper now. Guards, right. So the Terminator's now cheaper, but the normal Plague Marines are more expensive. A little bit. Yeah, I don't know Death Guard enough to comment. Yeah, so a little bit of looks like more balancing than anything else here. No change for definitely. Is that further helped out with Dukari? This one pains me. This pains me a lot. Raiders, 80 points. Cheap. Cheap as chips. 70 points for Venom. Bombers going up to 215. Flyers, yeah, the struggle getting flyers into 40k at the moment. Grotesques, Hellions, Inkspy. Palace, Succubus 45 points. What a bargain. Oh yeah, looking good. It'll be interesting how Dukari go. These points decreases as well as their whole new detachment, as well as the change to the army. All good things for Dukari. I'd expect to see them rise, but we'll see because if you have with armies of Dukari, they don't have a huge amount of player base. At the moment. Here are the big daddies themselves. Well, it's sad, isn't it? Across the board, it looks quite boring. One change. USA Genestealers are now 150 points of 10. Down from, yeah, it's down from 170. So 10 points down for 5, 20 points down for 10 models. It's good. I mean the focus on Genestealers, I think, I'm assuming because it's I mean, more Genestealers to be taken with. Also, it's miniatures for Games Workshop to try and sell. All the things I'm happy with, the Redactor Saboteur as well as the Ridge Runners, they have stayed the same price. I thought they would go up. The real disappointment is the Magus, Metamorphs, and both Goliaths. I said I highlighted the fact the Rage has gone down to 80 points. Chimera is what, 70 points. What else is transports? Rhinos are only about 80 points. But Goliath truck, 110 points. Is it really that good of a transport? That's what gets my goat. Still, characters that don't do a lot of shooting, don't do a lot of combat, they're pretty for combos. And see a succubus for 45 points. Hard. Yeah, we don't have the equivalent. Interestingly, though, the Broodlord, 80 points. The Patriarch is 85 points. Very similar models. Interesting. Very interesting. One increase for Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights have all gone down again, just try and help Imperial Knights out. They're very expensive units as it is. Try and get a little bit more. Even a little tickles down, you're not going to help you in the long run if you've got big amounts of point left over. So just see how these all work out. Expected these can go up a little bit. Hearthguard, Thunderkin, and Sagittarius, all heavily used, all heavily spams. Played League of Legends player over the Christmas period, and I got absolutely rated. The amount of Sagittarius round, and it was hard going. Yeah, the fact that these have gone up, I think, is probably on balance right. Not everything, don't need everything to go up, but the hard hitting stuff, that spam definitely needs a bit of an increase. 5 of these bots had. Interestingly, Necrons are completely unchanged. They've won 2 of the biggest tournaments recently. They've won them, they're not across the board destroying everyone like Eldari were in Necrons do seem very strong at the moment. And here we are, there's no points increase and no rules changes. So it's very much, I think, they've gone for the Suckerman Seed rule with Necrons. So, Orcs, interesting, their transports have gone up. Dobbs and Squighog Boys, I don't know what those are. Cavalry, they've gone up. A whole host has gone down. It's mostly the wagons, custom booster blasters, killer cans. Yeah, it's more the vehicles that have gone down, isn't it? So, trying to get people to take more of the vehicle unit Orcs. Because they're not the best in a little bit tinfoil. I know we know about tinfoil vehicles. Space Marine changes, thousands of data sheets. Bonus squads, again, new squad, they try to push them, not getting taken much as the points drop. Assessor squads have gone down. Assault assessor squads. Wrestlers have gone up. Getting spammed at the moment, so they've gone up. The squads pretty much using battlefield control early on. Devastator squads have also gone up. But heavy intercessors have also have gone down, so I get confused about intercessors and Furnace and Furnace and God knows what else. Spike's gone down. Yeah, expected. The scouts use off control. Temperature dreadnoughts are used quite heavily as well. They've gone up. Whirlwind got up, interestingly. 180, same as the Manticore. Maybe Manticore and Whirlwinds are seen as the same now. I don't know. Space Wolves. How? Oh my god, Riptides are so cheap now. Reduces 5 points for a Riptide. Interesting, Crisis Battles have gone up with these two against spam, but guys that go with them have gone down in price. So it feels more like balancing than anything else. With Tau, Vespids have also gone down, but Vespids so few Vespids to take in these days. I know Tau player says he wants to take his Vespids, but the points cost is not worth it. So maybe he'll take them. Yeah, I have 1,000 tons. Let's go straight to Tyranids now. For Periarch is 85, which is practically the same. Brood Lord, which is 80, so cheaper. Teachers and matched changes stealers. Gargoyles, which were the gods of choice at the moment, they've gone up. They've been hit with a nerf, as is the Death Leaper, Eurolictor, those god operatives that can go around causing trouble. New stuff, the non-embassy have also gone down. A lot of the new stuff going down. Perfect's got hit badly with nerfs, gone down. And Screamer Killers, end of the new model, have also gone down. A bit more of the world eating nerfy. Yeah, they've been nerfed a little bit. So yeah, point increases for them. I don't know world eating enough. I'm looking at this. I know all the berserkers about it of world eaters. So I know there's Khan the Betrayer. He has gone up. Where is he? Khan the Betrayer is now 100 points. He was 55 points. I thought he was very cheap. Up to 100 points. That's quite a big increase. That. But I did wonder why he was so cheap. There's also been a couple of clarifications in the commentary document that's come out. First of all, when you're bringing neophytes as well as acolytes and metamorphs back with the cult icon, it very much specifies now that you have to bring them back within 2 inches of models that are already there in the unit. You can't chain them out onto objectives, which I think some people in tournaments have been doing. It's not a thing I've been doing because usually I only have like 2 neophytes left and get 4 back, and they don't really have much places to chain anywhere. And if you just dump them onto an objective, they just be close by anyway. So I don't think it's a huge change. You only bring back about 6 maximum at a time anyway, and even that's if you're on an objective. So I don't think this is a huge issue. The other clarification, which sort of needed clarifying, but I don't think it was done overly, was when you're inside a transport, and you use the firing deck, that the weapons of that unit become the weapons of that transport. Now they've specified that doesn't count for one-shot weapons, so you cannot have acolytes with demolition charges in a transport, whether it be the Goliath, well, you can have them in there obviously, but you can't then use their one-use demolition charges as part of that firing deck. Use the hand flamers or if you want your auto pistols to your heart's content, but no demolition charges, and they have specified that. I know it's one of those things that was doing the rounds on YouTube, but no, that has been quashed now. So overall, it very much depended what armies you collected. If you were into the Space Elves or the Chaos, this was quite meaty with lots and lots of changes. Other armies had bits here and there, such as Tyranids, Orcs, but then other armies like Genestealer Cult, Asta Militarum, Admech, Grey Knights, there was very little changes. It was quite dull. And together with absolutely zero changes to the core rules, which I went through 3 core rules, and there's probably others as well. Tower I didn't even cover in my last video, but I covered Gambits, 0 CP, taking up secondary objectives and doing actions, and Battle Shock. None of it corrected or covered or discussed about, or no changes to those core rules. So games would obviously think, oh, it's working fine, even though they have these rules that either aren't working very well, or in case of Gambit, it's essentially a dead rule, but they haven't decided to correct any of that. So I was a bit surprised. I thought at least the 0 CP units ability to get secondary objectives or do actions, I thought they may have altered or played with that a little bit, but they just obviously have decided not to do it. Whether the reason of the delay was because they were going to do that and bottled it, or whether they just actually added loads more changes to army rules, because a lot of armies did have that were in the Dataslate did have rules tweaked. Genestealer Cult didn't. Others like League of Votan didn't, but there was a lot of them that did have little tweaks here and there. So there was quite a lot of little changes to army rules. But again, if you're not one of these armies that got changed in the army rules and had very little in the points, then it does feel like a bit of a dull Dataslate. And in terms of Genestealer Cult, a very bit of a poor Dataslate as well. Great, Genestealer's down in cost. Fantastic. Cheaper Genestealer units. 150 points for 10 of them. Obviously Patriarch with one of those units, if you take one. Or you can have multiple units with only one Patriarch to be taken. Would be an epic hero. But you can have loads of daylight charges over the minefield in the first turn, tie up those units. That could be great. But overall, the things like the Magus, Metamorphs, Goliath Rock Rider, even the Goliath Truck didn't go down in cost, and I'm fuming the fact Raiders now 80 points, Goliath Trucks are 110 points still. I don't understand this. I really don't understand why Genestealer Cult transports have to be expensive. I don't, compared to everyone else. So, I think Cult are in a bad place. Their army rule was nerfed last time around. It now feels very lackluster. You can bring maybe 1, maybe 2 units back, and they're in places where you can't really do much. The units that come back don't have much impact, basically. And the way Imperial Guard players use recruitment to keep bringing back units seems a much more efficient way of doing that. But you can't do that as Cult anyway, even if we did have that stratagem, because you need your CP to do your little shenanigans here and there, to drop people down 3 inches away, to give them buffed and discipline on skill and AP. So I don't think it really would work then, but the reinforcement rule for the stratagem for Asta Militarum seems to work really well for them, and I see Guard players bringing back more units per game than Genestealer Cult players, those that are still playing, because the actual attendance of Genestealer Cult players has plummeted. And also a new detachment for Drukhari. Good on them, obviously they're really struggling, they could do with an extra detachment, and their little tweak to the army rule where they now get an extra improved to their AP in melee, which is good. I think they needed a little bit of buff. So, well, you know, that's good for them. Well done. Good ones for Drukhari. Obviously, Eldari had some rules taken out, so there was a lot of balancing going around in this Dataslate. But then, if you were one of those armies that weren't touched, like Genestealer Cult, it does feel a bit lackluster. Anyway, let me know what you think. Comments below, and yeah, let's discuss. What do you think of Dataslate? Have you been hit badly? Have you had a great time? Have you had been nerfed? Let me know. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.